Let's begin here with Buck Showalter, and you have endorsed him for the job. Terry, what are the specific attributes that you think would fit the Mets when it comes to Buck Showalter?
Well, it starts out with experience. I mean, he's been in big markets. He's produced winners. He works with the organization. He's organized to, beyond anybody's imagination. And in today's world, where you've got to grab all of this information you have now that's available, and you've got to sort it out and figure out what works, I think Buck's the guy that can do it. And I really think I love his way that he approaches. He's got a little bit of old school in him, yet his organizational skills are with the new program.
Showalter has a good chance of getting this job, Gary. And in fact, I can say now that he interviewed well today. I think the feeling there in that room was that he presented well. It was somebody who potentially be very excited about having the job, not as resistant to analytics and the contemporary aspects of the game that maybe he's stereotyped as. Terry knows as well as anybody that managers who just happen to be up into their 60s can be unfairly stereotyped as quote-unquote old school or dinosaurs, and that's not the impression certainly that the Mets have of Buck Showalter. He may not be that kind of guy who's willing to do every analytical move that's suggested by the front office in game, and that is the way that some teams are going. But you got to remember that Steve Cohen spent a lot of money on this current team, paying people like Max Scherzer in his later years to win now. And in the menu of options for managers that the Mets have, they're all good, and they're all smart guys, and they all might have a chance to win with the Mets. But the Mets are thinking of Buck Showalter possibly as the guy on that list who's done it the most, who could be really plug and play and get in there and improve a team right away. So I do have to say, coming out of the interview that he had today and some things that I've heard, I like his chances.
The good news is with somebody like Buck, he checks off so many different boxes, as Terry alluded to, in dealing with today's player, dealing with front offices. He's not going to sit there and just accept a lineup card that's brought down to the from the front office. That's not Buck's thing. In fact, you don't even need to worry about that aspect of it. If you want to win, if you want to not worry about using the bullpen or how to manage the team and put out lineups day in and day out, Buck is a really, really good candidate. I
really think the Mets could get this done, whether it's Showalter, who, as I said, did a good job in his interview and could do well in this process, or an Espada, or maybe a sleeper candidate like Guerin. I think that decision will be made in pretty short order here.